Good Monday morning to you all. We have another Watchmen update. We got some big important items we need to cover. We have a major recall out there with 11 perishing from listeria in the U.S. already. This is 21 states affected by this massive recall. We need to talk about it. It may impact you and your family. We have a major hacking attack. And what really sets this apart is that it's on the agencies that are supposed to protect us from being hacked. They just got hacked, and this is a major warning, a shot across the bow, so to speak. We have reports from a whole bunch of watchmen out there. We got a Texas rancher giving us the inside scoop on what's going on the live cattle market and the beef packing houses, what's going on with the slaughterhouses. We got someone sharing about Medicare fraud and exposing it here in the community here. And someone else reporting on the power outage, 33 hours without power in Nebraska after the power plant explosion. We got a desperate scramble for chicks going on out there. A bunch of you guys are looking for chicks and know other people looking for chicks, so we got updates on that. And one watchman shares their heart about what is the biggest problem facing America today. Now, I agree with them, but I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. That and a whole lot more. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. And before we go any further, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. A lot of you guys have moved forward with Genesis Gold Group. If you have retirement accounts, this is a great way to diversify some or all of your assets in retirement account over into gold, silver, or platinum, physical metals. You know that I'm a big believer in precious metals, which is why I think they're a good fit for this channel. I know a lot of you guys are also concerned about that, but a lot of you are like, I don't have a lot of money to spare, but you might have a retirement account. If you'd like to find out more about what you can do with your retirement account, there'll be a link at the end of the video for you to get some more information. All right, we got a major recall of supplemental shakes. These are the brands, Ready Care and Cisco Imperial. Now, these they look like little milk cartons, but we're talking about 38 people ill and 20 in 21 states. 11 have perished so far. Now, this is hitting particularly hard nursing homes and assisted living locations. Supplemental shakes, nutritional shakes. So if you know anyone who's in one of these nursing homes or one of these assisted living locations, you might want to check in on them. And, you know, they're recalling this stuff now because they realize what's going on now, but it was too little too late, unfortunately. So this is a major one out there. All right, we got a major multi-day cyber attack hitting infrastructure in a Maryland county. Now, this is happening for the second day, and this is originating from outside the United States. Now, the question on everybody's mind is why Anne Arundel County? Well, let's see what's there in Anne Arundel County. The National Security Agency's Fort Meade. Oh, okay, so that's bad. Like the NSA exists to do battle and spy in the cyber realm, and their water treatment plants and other infrastructure in their county just got hacked. This is impacting the people working there at Fort Meade, and this is impacting potentially Fort Meade infrastructure itself. Okay, but that's not it. That's not it. So we got Fort Meade there with NSA, but we also have U.S. Cyber Command. So you getting the gist of this? We got defense media activity, which is basically when we use disinformation out there and when we do counter disinformation. So basically propaganda online. Their headquarters is there as well. We got an FBI regional office there, and it's a major one. We got naval support for Annapolis. And of course we have the Annapolis U.S. Naval Academy. And numerous other offices for the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, including just a small one that we should maybe pay attention to here. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. So there's one agency above all that has been tasked explicitly with protecting the infrastructure of the United States. Infrastructure which has been burrowed into by the Chinese and has been shared quite openly. Everybody knows it. It's been admitted by government officials that the Chinese have burrowed into our infrastructure. Well, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, it's their task to protect our infrastructure from hacking attacks. Their water treatment plant, their infrastructure in their county just got hacked in their backyard. This sure seems like a shot across the bow. Not only that, but we also have China doing something else rather provocative. So just imagine in your mind where China is, and then where Australia is, way down under. And the Chinese sailed ships, warships, down to Australia, which is bad. Then they went around Australia to south of Australia, and then they decided to start doing live fire missile tests south of Australia, just outside their waters. And so Australia is canceling flights in the area. They are freaking out because China decided to send ships and just start floating them around in Australia's backyard. I mean, why else would you be there south of Australia? The only thing south of Australia, if you go far enough, is Antarctica. And those ships are not there for Antarctica. This is a warning to Australia, who has sailed warships past Taiwan and through the Taiwanese Strait. This is a warning shot to them, and suddenly we have the infrastructure being hacked in the backyard of our intelligence and cybersecurity organizations and agencies. Somebody is giving us a major warning. Lisa says, my son received a letter via email from Elon Musk's staff at Doge saying he has less than a day to submit it. Then the Pentagon sent an email saying to ignore the previous email from Musk. Now, it wasn't less than a day. That went out on Sunday, I think Saturday evening even, actually. And everyone had to get that in by Monday evening, and I believe it has been delayed until Tuesday. And people asked, and media asked Elon Musk what this is about, and basically he said it's not so much about what people write, it's about that people actually respond to the email. Because it says, if you don't respond to this email, we will consider it your resignation. And he said this is an easy pulse test to see if these people are even real. Are these people checking their email? Are they real? Are they even engaged? Because a bunch of these people getting paychecks seem like they're not real people. Not real people getting Social Security checks, not real people getting welfare, not real people getting counted when we need to decide on governmental officials, and not real people who are even working for the federal government. The fact that a bunch of federal workers may not even exist is truly concerning when you state it like that. All right, moving on. Dave, heard yesterday that Jamie Dimon, that's Chase Bank, JP Morgan Chase, just sold 33% of his stock, and his co-CEO sold 20%. We got Berkshire Hathaway unloading on stocks. We just heard out there that Goldman Sachs is dumping their stocks. The smart money is going towards safety. Hopefully you guys are too. I'm just giving you the warnings. I'm just letting you know what people are doing out there. And you need to decide between you and your investment people. Or if you're your investment people, decide what you're going to do about it, whether it's important or not. I think we may actually talk about that more this afternoon because there are a bunch of warning signs out there. Uncle Sam says, Medicare fraud alert. Went to walk-in clinic for a small wound. I received a bill for $240. The Medicare office and my supplement office both said I owed nothing, okay, because they paid it. The clinic said that the charge was so that I could pay my deductible. Watch out for this scam. More and more scams going on out there, and a lot of it's scamming the federal government in Medicare, Medicaid. A lot of these programs are being abused because nobody's defending them. Nobody's actually pushing back. They're just approving all the payments. Mike says Crawfordsville, Indiana, eggs at Kroger, $12 a dozen. Soldier says our Heartland Harvest brand dog food from D&B Supply now has porcine meat and bone meal, which is pork, as the first ingredient rather than chicken. Guess no one can afford chicken these days, even to feed their dogs. Hopefully you guys are paying attention. If these companies are switching over to pork because it's cheaper than chicken, that should tell you things are changing out there and they're having trouble sourcing the chicken. I told you that might be on the horizon here. Texas Stetter, cattleman here, again on the soft strike on cattle, right? Basically the cattlemen in Texas are like, if you're going to pay us this much for our cattle, we're losing money on that. We're just not going to sell you the cattle. We're going to wait for prices to go up. It's basically a soft strike. He says, suddenly the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, is not interested in holding up the beef processing inspections anymore. They were doing that to mess around with smaller stations and smaller producers. Gee, I wonder why. Anyway, while that's good, the backlog on beef is now astronomical, and not all the big processors are ready to pay the bill. They don't have the cattle in the feedlots right now, and they realize that their production lines are going to run to a halt soon. I'm telling you, there's big problems in the beef industry, and you're hearing it from a Texas rancher right now. And he's talking to other ranchers, and he's talking to these some of the smaller butchers and stuff like that, and this is what's happening. This is what's happening at the packing houses. There is unsubstantiated rumors in our community that there's pressure being applied to lobby for cuts or subsidies being asked before the big boys are willing to play. They want cuts on the prices for the beef that they're going to purchase for the slaughterhouses. The slaughterhouses want cuts. They want to raise the prices up, but then they want to pay less. They want to pay basically what they're paying now. He says, I supply local restaurants, so it's not really my circles, but the U.S. Department of Agriculture might have just caused a log jam that no one short of Big T or Trump might be able to fix. Hopefully you guys have been listening to me that beef is going to be in crisis soon. You still have some time. Beef prices haven't gone up too much yet, but they will shortly, and availability may become a big problem in not too distant future. Nebraska Prairie Lady says, Broken Bow, Nebraska. We're tracking what's going on over there with the Nebraska power plant in Broken Bow. After more than 33 hours without electricity, power was fully restored. Hundreds of residents and businesses endured freezing temperatures. It's cold out there. And a night in emergency shelters. Officials say the cause of the explosion remains under investigation. Now, we just had a major cyber attack against infrastructure over in Maryland. Can't rule it out, friends. Also, here on the homestead, we will be hatching out our own chicks this year and trading them for sweet corn, goat's milk, and various items we need. We process our own hogs and use the fat for tallow. Or lard, right? We will use this item as barter material. I encourage everyone to trade and barter as much as possible and to set up a network of resources with like-minded neighbors. I feel in my soul and gut that we will soon all appreciate this preparedness more than ever. When you barter, no cash is trading hands. If you're just giving someone else something and they're giving you something, let's just say, kind of hard for the IRS to come after you. Anyway, in addition to that, think about resiliency. If you can produce something this much, it's not as much trouble to go to this much production. Especially knowing that if you increase the production like that, you can then trade with other people in your neighborhood and community that you can get other things that you need that would take a lot more effort to produce yourself. It's not advantageous to produce everything yourself. What's best is if you produce one or two or a few things at a high level, and then you trade them with other people who are producing all the other things that you need, right? As much as you can specialize a little bit, it will really make things more efficient and up the quality of what you're bartering. Michelle says, our neighbor has been trying to get chicks. She told me that they went out to our local Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply had gotten chicks in, but later than expected. As soon as they put them out, people started buying them, and the chicks were sold out within the hour. She tried the nearest Rural King. She was told that they get them in, but people are buying 100 chicks at a time. She was told the next shipment date, so she got up that morning early enough to be at the store when they got the chicks. She was able to get the 8 peeps that she wanted. Jody says, years ago, a dear friend who worked in the restaurant industry warned me that a local meat market froze the meat and then weighed it. They put water in it, froze it, and then weighed it. We are also paying for the water weight with every pound we purchase. I noted how much grease was drained off when comparing hamburger from one market to the other. I stopped shopping there. Friends, share the information. When these stores are stealing from you like that, share it far and wide as best you can. Marty says, Steve, thank you for this important update. Our nation's biggest problem, and let me know down in the comments if you think this is the nation's biggest problem as well. Our nation's biggest problem is not political, it's spiritual. Unfortunately, after the election, most Christians shouted hallelujah, yawned, and rolled over and went back to sleep. The sugar plums dancing around in their heads were pictures of Trump solving all our problems with the wave of a wand. The most neglected service in 90% of churches today is the prayer service. If we want to experience a turnaround in this nation, we must put into practice the entirety of 2 Chronicles 7:14 and ask God to touch the hearts of our leaders just as he did with King Jehoshaphat in 2 Chronicles. Each Christian has a part to play in the spiritual warfare, but sadly, most are AWOL. Whether you believe it's a spiritual battle, whether you believe it's a religious battle, whether you believe it's... I think we can agree that the moral component is playing a big part in what's happening in our country right now. The moral component, the decisions that individuals are making are definitely impacting the corruption, the fraud, the theft, the lack of accountability. All of these things are moral issues that we have just not done anything about for years and years and years and decades. Honesty has become a long gone trait in the United States. I know a lot of you agree with me on that. Let me know down in the comments. Maybe you disagree with that. What is the biggest problem that we are facing as America? All right, friends, or if you're from another country, let us know what you think the biggest problem is in your country. Is it spiritual? Is it something else? All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. Tap that, fill out your information, and they'll get in contact with you and answer all your questions. No obligation to move forward. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.